Is it Sean Johnson?
No, ma'am.
No, it's the other one. Yeah,
Okay.
Sean Johnson's in the cell, Your Honor.
That's all right. I'll get this first one. Is it Eric Wood?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Wood. I'm Judge Sara Smolenski, Mr. Wood, from the Kent County 63rd District Court. If you remember, you had a charge back last Christmas time, December 10th, last year, in Byron Township when you got arrested for a high BAC. That's a misdemeanor. It's up to 6 months in jail, up to $700 fine, up to 360 hours of community service, classes, counseling, treatment. You can be ordered to pay for the cost of your prosecution, and you can be ordered to reimburse the government for any emergency response or expense. This is a case where you can get 6 points on your license from the Secretary of State and actually have the Secretary of State step in and take your license away, suspend it, restrict it, or revoke it. It goes back to an arrest December 10. I don't know if you went to jail that day or if you went to the hospital. Do you remember?
I do believe I came right here.
Okay. They've set it up for several different meetings and never had you connect. I don't know if you've just forgotten about this or if you've been busy with other things. They have your Laneview address, an apartment in Caledonia, but I don't know if that's any good because our mail was coming back with those yellow stickers saying return to sender. So what's the address you go by now?
It's 4367 147th Avenue, Holland, Michigan.
What's the zip? Don't know it?
I think it's 493 or 492.
We'll look it up. 4367 147th Avenue in Holland, Michigan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, take me back, because you posted money to get out of jail. We're
I
talking
did.
December a year ago. I mean, it's 9 months ago. Take me
Yes, ma'am.
back to that time right up to now. Clearly, you have not been in jail that whole time.
No. To be honest, I was really under a lot of different things, and I was going through a lot of moving
You had
at
a
the
lot on
time.
your plate. You had a lot on your plate. You had a lot of stress. You had a lot of things going on. But clearly, you were not in jail the whole time, true?
Yes.
And how long have you been in custody right now?
I turned myself in last night.
Okay, when you turned yourself in last night, did you go right to the Kent County Jail?
Yes, I came right
Okay.
here.
And are you being held on any other matters?
No, not here.
I'm saying business with any court, anywhere. Do you have any other business that's still pending anywhere else?
Yes, I had been locked in Ottawa County,
Uh-huh.
and that was the reason I missed my my first court date. I had every intention in coming. I even let them know I had the court date, and I paid bond.
Let them know. Do you mean Ottawa County?
Yeah, they knew I
Okay.
had court here, and I paid my bond, and they held me for a
Longer?
whole nother day.
Yeah.
They actually
So
let me
you
out.
missed it.
Yeah, they let me out like an hour late, and then they told me to give them a proof of incarceration, which I didn't want to take the chance of just coming in and getting arrested because my daughter's first birthday was right around the corner.
Who was
that's
asking
why.
for the proof? Who was asking for the proof of incarceration?
No, they told me to give.
Oh, to get it. So
You-
when you came to us, you could show us.
Yeah,
Okay, I get it. But you're telling me right now that you were in Ottawa County Jail. I don't dispute you. I mean, I doubt if you'd make that up. But let me just
Right.
say this. Ottawa County doesn't call us and tell us that you're in their custody. If you had a warrant that was a hold, they'd hold you. But when you turned yourself in last night, is it just on this case?
yeah.
Just on this case, okay. So you know you're charged with a 6-month misdemeanor of drunk driving. They call it the super drunk law. At one point, at one of the pretrial conferences, the prosecutor was going to recommend if you pled to operating while intoxicated, that's the 93-day misdemeanor, they dropped the 6-month misdemeanor. I don't know if you ever got to hear that or not, but
No,
you
I
have to
didn't.
make a decision. You have to make a decision yourself, Mr. Wood, about how you're going to handle the case. Your right is to either plead guilty or not guilty, to have a trial in front of a judge or a jury, to have an attorney. You can handle it yourself. A lot of people do, but it has to be your decision. If you go forward today, no trial, no attorney, you make the decision based on the facts. If you go forward, there's no trial, no witnesses, we don't hear any testimony, and you give up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you currently, right now, on probation or parole anywhere?
No, ma'am.
If there was something you didn't agree with that happened at the district court, you're given 21 days to appeal to a higher court, that's circuit court. Any questions about that?
No.
So
No,
when you
ma'am.
look back on this December 10 incident, last year, 84th Street, when you got arrested, are there parts of it that you remember?
Honestly, it
Or not
was
too much?
honestly not a lot.
Yeah.
Not-
I've
just
never
I-
read the police report in the case. I've never reviewed it before. And I'm looking at it for the very first time right now that they said your blood alcohol level was 0.19. Anything 0.08 and above is illegal. 0.19 is over double that. The paperwork in the case, they said that they got to an accident at the Tanger Outlet Mall. They got dispatched there. They said the subject was out of the vehicle. He appeared to be intoxicated and had urinated on himself. They observed the male. He was outside the vehicle. He was not very cooperative at first. He threw a paper at my car.
I did that?
That's what they're talking about. They described you. I approached Eric. He was very unsteady. Upon speaking with him, I smelled an odor of intoxicants. His speech was very slurred. He said he was coming from his house where he had been drinking. He was driving to his mom's house in Zeeland. He stated that while at home, he drank a tall boy Budweiser and a shot. He stated he was depressed because his baby's mama was refusing to let him see his daughter. In speaking with Eric, he admitted he felt he was too intoxicated and should not be driving. I asked Eric to step out of the vehicle, stand in front of my car, where I could assess his ability to drive. They put all these tests on you, you know, where they have you look in your eyes with the light and walk and turn, one leg stand. They put you in handcuffs. They did a chemical test. You did a breathalyzer. It was a 0.19. The vehicle was a 2015 Chevy Impala. They had your hard driver's license. You had that with you. They took that. They said it was a curb that you hit. It broke one of the wheels on the car. I believe it broke one of the wheels. Maybe more than one wheel. I'm not sure. It was right about at the entrance of that Tanger Outlet Mall, they said. They took photos and stuff. I'm not looking at the photos. Here's the question you have to ask yourself. You know, how do you want to proceed with the case? If the prosecutor offered the lesser charge called operating while intoxicated, that's still a misdemeanor. It's still a drunk driving charge. It's still up to 93 days in jail, up to $500 fine. It doesn't mean you'd get that jail. It means that's the maximum. It does mean you'd get 6 points on your license, and it does mean that the Secretary of State can suspend your license. They do it based on what your master driving record looks like now. So the more you have, the more you get your license taken away. If you're prepared to take care of the case, you've got to decide how you want to plead. If you're not sure what you want to do, you still can talk to somebody if you want to. The case is 9 months old. And the reason I asked, do you remember anything about it, is because when you plead, you have to know how you want to plead. And it has to be based on the facts of the case. Sometimes people don't remember, or quite frankly, they were too intoxicated and they have no recollection. Sometimes people plead no contest when they don't remember. I just reviewed very briefly what I had. I don't know any more details about it than that. And that doesn't mean all those details are exact. I mean, that's just the report.
Right.
You know, that's the police report. And they weren't there. I mean, they get there after the scene. They get there when somebody calls them and says, can you come see, there's a car on the side of the road. They don't see it, you know, they don't see it happen. They're not there when it happens most of the time.
Right.
They just get there and then they talk to everybody and they get the report going. But I'm wondering after this, you know, whether you decided how you want to plead. I mean, this is a drunk driving charge.
Can I add, I was also just starting new meds, and honestly,
Yep.
I think
And the
that's
meds
why I
can
don't.
affect it. The
I
meds can
think
affect
that's
it, no doubt about it. The meds can be impacted by the alcohol you drank. The meds can play a part of it, but it still makes you impaired or under the
yeah,
influence where you ought not to be driving.
right,
Some of the
right,
medications will tell you don't use with alcohol. Some of the medications will say don't drive a car when you're using this medication.
right.
You know, you got to follow that too. It doesn't have to just be alcohol in your system. Is this the only thing that's keeping you in jail right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, if I asked you, how do you want to plead to the charge of operating while intoxicated, the lesser charge, not the 6-month misdemeanor, but the 93-day misdemeanor, do you know how you'd want to plead? Or do you still want to talk to somebody and get some further advice?
I'd like some further advice, but to be honest,
Okay.
I'm just trying to straighten myself out, really.
Right,
I mean,
right.
that's why
You got to
I turned
stop
myself.
drinking. You got to
Oh,
stop drinking altogether. No alcohol,
I'm
no illegal drugs. You got to start with that, no matter if you're in jail or out of jail. Got to
right.
start with that.
I had an experience. I actually ended up in the hospital about in July. I
Uh-huh.
was going really far downhill, and I got
Was
out
it
of the
more
hospital.
drug related at that time? Was it more drug related, like an overdose?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
ever since then, I haven't touched anything, and that's why I'm here
That's
now.
huge. That's
Well,
huge.
yeah, that's why I'm here now, trying to get
Uh-huh.
everything fixed. Because,
Well, to get into rehab is huge. You got to keep that up. There's no question about it.
right,
But if you can think back to this December 10 incident and you know you shouldn't have been driving and you're going to plead to this, it has to be your decision. If you're not sure, you can still talk to an attorney. The original charge is the high BAC. That's the 6-month misdemeanor. You know, I know that the prosecutor at one point offered the lesser charge. That's why I'm talking about the lesser charge. But, and it doesn't hurt you to talk to an attorney. It'll cost a little bit more money for you because there'll be some fees that you pay for that. But I think it'll be right back to where we are, operating while intoxicated. With a .19, they're not going to really do anything different.
right,
But the decision that you make, it really does have to be yours. So if you pled guilty, I would not keep you in jail. I would have you get an assessment, a drug and alcohol assessment. They're going to recommend what kind of rehab, what kind of treatment, what kind of classes. You'd be seeing me on a different day, a couple weeks out, for me to sentence you on this. Once I've been able to see the assessment, maybe they're going to say you need an inpatient treatment facility. I don't know. Maybe they're going to say you can do it by outpatient. I don't know.
I actually I'm doing some outpatient. I really am kind of bouncing around because I'm
Yeah,
trying to find an actual somewhere I'm comfortable. But I had
right?
after the overdose, I was inpatient for I don't exactly know. It was kind of fuzzy,
Uh-huh.
but
Yep.
I'm kind of bouncing around between my outpatient just because I would like to be
You
comfortable
want to
where I'm
find
at.
something that works the best?
Yeah, and like obviously I'm not driving right now, so it's it's kind of it's kind of hard to keep it going, the
Right.
outpatient at least, but
Is
inpatient,
it
yeah.
family in Holland or who do you live with?
Oh, it's my mother.
So do you
I
have a
actually,
support group? Does she know
oh
you
yeah,
turned yourself in?
oh yeah, she definitely,
Yeah.
yeah, she knows
Well,
everything
she's
that's
trying to
going on
stay
right.
on it too. Yeah, she's trying
Yeah,
to have you stay on it too.
and she's the one who's actually helping me find these places and trying to get me
Right?
comfortable to go and
Right?
admit myself, you
Be in a
know?
place. Right.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to have to because the alternative is, well, you've already had a near-death experience.
Yeah.
Your overdose
And,
was as near-death experience as, you're going to get. We just don't want it to be the real thing next time. Neither
right.
does your
And
mom. I mean, she
yeah,
suffers and it's not even her problem, it's your problem.
I know. I know.
Well, I'm the judge. I don't talk
Okay.
you into this or out of it. I can't tell you one way how to do it. I mean, I admire that you turned yourself in and that you really want to take care of it. And I think I'm talking pretty honestly when I say they're not going to drop the case. So you're either
Mm-hmm.
going to plead to something or you're going to have a trial. If you're a .19 and they can prove that, that's kind of hard to overcome, to be honest with you. Let's talk
Right.
real.
Right.
If you have any memory of it and know that you were out of it at that time, you can make the decision yourself to go forward. I've already told you that the prosecutor at one point, even when you didn't show up, talked about letting the plea go in for an OWI, not a high BAC. The high BAC is the 6-month misdemeanor, up to 6 months in jail. The OWI is up to 93 days in jail, so it's a lesser charge. And if you talk to somebody, you get a court-appointed attorney, you can do that. They're going to probably say exactly what I'm saying to you, but there will be a cost that you pay for a court-appointed attorney. If you hire your own, then that's what you do on your own. You hire your own attorney, figure out who you want to hire and get the money to pay for that. If you're going to handle this yourself, you are by yourself, not your mom, not me, not anybody. You make the decision yourself.
I would have to do the 93 or the 6 months.
No, no, you wouldn't necessarily get jail at all.
If I plead,
That's just the maximum. That's the maximum sentence that you can get.
would breaking bond affect any of it? Because that
Yes,
was truly not my
not now,
fault.
not now, but starting now forward, not up to this point. The fact that you turned yourself in and we're talking about this right now,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. What do you mean? For what?
Call 6463.
No, that's at 350. Okay, so if you're thinking, do you have to stay in jail? No, that's not what I'm gonna do. I already told you, I gotta get a assessment,
Mm-hmm.
drug and alcohol assessment, what programs are best available for you. That's why I asked you so much at the beginning, are you in custody on anything else? Because I only have this. And if I said you get out of jail, but you're being held on something else, they'd hold you. You wouldn't get out, even if I said you could get out. So
I
I'm only dealing with this, but if you plead guilty to this case, then I sentence you. And I don't sentence you until I get an evaluation done on your drug and alcohol issues.
okay. I
Yeah,
know. I'm pretty sure I got only a couple warrants in another county,
yeah. And that
but
could be a
here,
hold. Does it show that he has a hold on him, deputy?
Yes, he does out of Ottawa County.
Yeah. So you got a hold. Why don't I just have one of the defense attorneys talk to you briefly and see what you want to do?
okay.
Today we'll just say not guilty. Ours is a 500 PR bond. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to hold you on ours, but you are going to be held on your other stuff.
With Ottawa?
Yep. But your case with us is never done until you come and take care of it. And coming in today, this is okay, but it didn't take care of it. We're not done with your case. You
Right.
either plead guilty or you have a trial. And then you'll have to decide what you're gonna do on that. Yeah. But you're starting, and that's a good thing. Okay, that's it for right now. We'll just keep saying not guilty until you're ready to decide what you want to do. Okay. You can appoint him one.
You're all set, you can have it back. All right, Your Honor, the other one is Mr. Johnson there, and then
Sure.
he might respond, he might not.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, I see you with your white socks on and no shoes. I'm Judge Sara Smolenski. Can you hear me okay?
Talk right through here.
Well, let me just tell you, Mr. Johnson, that I have you in front of me on an old case that was a shoplifting case out of the Walgreens on Plainfield Avenue. You might be in custody on something else right now, and I don't know. But the shoplifting case was on June 6th. June 6th. Are you physically not feeling well? Just don't want to talk? I'm sorry that things are overwhelming for you, and it could be that with the COVID you're in isolation. I'm not really sure what the rules are about that. But our case was a shoplifting case. They call it retail fraud second degree, and it's a 1-year misdemeanor. It doesn't mean you'd go to jail for 1 year, but it means that's the maximum. There's also a maximum fine, $2,000 or 3 times whatever was stolen. We'll just say not guilty today and set you up so that you can talk to an attorney on this. Okay? That's it. Thanks.
You gonna set a bond on him, Your Honor?
Is he being held on anything else?
No, you're the last thing that was holding him here.
Just call ours a $500 cash bond, 500 cash bond.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh.